What's going on, you guys? The Demigod back on Demigod ENT, and today we're going to be doing our official non-spoiler movie review for Marvel Studios' brand new film, Black Widow. Now, I just went to go see this film yesterday in theaters on the big screen, and let me tell you, man, we got a few things to talk about in here. Honestly, quite honestly, it was a bit underwhelming for me, but we're gonna go over everything that I have to say about this movie. So here's what we're about to do for this movie review. We're gonna go over the plot, we're gonna go over the director, the cast, and then I'm gonna give you my official rating for this film at the end of this review, so stay tuned for my rating out of 10. Now, the plot for this movie is Natasha Romanov, aka Black Widow, confronts the darker parts of her ledger when a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past arises. Pursued by a force that will stop at nothing to bring her down, Natasha must deal with her history as a spy and the broken relationships left in her wake long before she became an Avenger. Now, the director for this film is Kate Shortland, and I must be honest, I have a lot of mixed feelings on this movie, and it was definitely underwhelming for me personally. Now, as far as his job as a director goes, how did he do with the cinematography and everything? There are some beautiful shots in here. There's a lot of use of slow motion inside this film to try to build drama or the intensity of a scene, and quite honestly, I felt it was overused in this movie. They did it quite a couple of times. Like, I can think of a few times within this movie that they happened to use it. And also, some of the shots and sets inside of this movie are beautiful due to the fact that they were on live sets and real locations, not just on a green screen the entire time like some of the bigger movies inside the Marvel Universe. So we do get a good look at some landscapes, some beautiful areas around the world in foreign countries. There's a lot of traveling inside of this movie, and there was a lot of good scenes within this movie. However, I feel during the second act of this film, it dragged quite a bit, to be completely honest. I even begin to get bored. There were so many talking scenes, just so much dialogue and character exposition and things that we didn't really need inside the film, where I feel like the pace should have been picked up a bit more and we could have got things moving a little bit more, a little more exciting. There was just way too much expositional dialogue, a lot of backstory within this film, which of course is good because that is the whole point of this film, so we can get more character depth into Natasha and truly find out the mystery behind her character, considering she was a big enigma inside of the Marvel films for the past decade. And yeah, so the things that I did enjoy about this film story-wise is, of course, the details added to her past to give depth to her character. We figure out inside of this movie how exactly she became a Black Widow, what a Black Widow truly means and what a Black Widow truly is, just how many Black Widows there are around the world, and also all the little things that they hint at in other Marvel movies that we finally get answered here, such as Budapest and a couple other things. Now, as far as story and plot goes, those are my thoughts on that. Let's go ahead and move on to the cast here. So, Scarlet Johansson plays Natasha Romanov inside of this film, and I would say she did a pretty good job in her role. She's her usual self inside of these Marvel films, and transitioning from the role of a side character into a main character, I feel she did an alright job here with what she was given. And quite honestly, they could have gave her even a little bit more to do in here. I feel like she didn't get enough to do. She didn't get to really show her potential here inside of this film as much as I would have liked to seen her do, like she has been able to perform inside of other films. And so those are my thoughts and feelings on her character. Now, moving on to the sister character inside of this movie. Florence Pugh inside of this movie plays Natasha Romanov's sister, Yelena, and this was definitely an interesting character that we got to see inside of this film. Of course, a big focus on this film is family. That is a huge focus. Kind of like the Fast and the Furious movies, right, is family. That's the main core theme of this movie, and so it was nice getting to see her interact with family, have a sister bond with someone, have a sister relationship, and just how their relationship and dynamic inside of this movie was, and how their characters played off of each other very well inside of this movie. And as you know, if you've seen the trailers, we do get a fight scene between them inside of this movie, which I felt was done justice. It was done pretty well, which also is another thing I should mention. The fight scenes inside of this movie, we did get some good fight scenes inside of here. However, again, I feel like we could have got much more. That is probably my main problem with this movie, is we could have got much more. I don't feel like it delivered as well as it could have. And I hate to say that about a Marvel film because I'm a huge Marvel fan, but I gotta keep it honest. I gotta be completely honest inside of this review for you guys. So, moving on to David Harbour's character, the Red Guardian inside of this film. He plays the father figure inside of this film. And honestly, quite honestly, I feel that David Harbour did a fantastic job inside of this movie. He was one of the best characters inside of this movie, one of the standouts, one of the highlights of this film, I feel. And he bounced off all the other characters very well. He was even a lot of the time used as comedic relief. And it was pretty cool getting to see another super soldier inside of the Marvel Universe, because if you don't already know, the Red Guardian is a super soldier. He has super strength. All the things Captain America has, he pretty much has. And it was even interesting getting to see how his character was developed and told inside of this film, because he is shown to be very loyal, however, not exactly loyal to the people maybe he should be loyal to. And so, moving on to our final character here, we have Rachel Weisz playing Melina, the mother figure inside of this film. And quite honestly, she was the character I connected the least amount with, the character I cared the least about. And I just feel I got way more of a performance and way more emotion out of the other three characters of this cast. And so, as far as Rachel did inside of this film, she did okay. She wasn't terrible or anything. However, I expected a lot more of her, and I wish we got a lot more of her, which again is the consistent theme of my entire feelings about this movie. And so that's what I have to say about the cast of this film. As far as my negatives about this film, again, I feel like this movie dragged way too much in the second act. It slowed down way too much. We got way too much dialogue than was needed. A little more action needed to be added in there, a little more excitement, a little more spark and intensity. I mean, I really expected this movie to be something similar to a Captain America: The Winter Soldier, one of the best films in the Marvel Universe. And instead, I feel like we ended up getting something that's more mid-tier in the Marvel Universe. If you were going to go over all 23, 24 movies, I believe it is now, this ranks somewhere along the middle. You know, it's not a terrible film. It's not a great film. It's slightly above average, I would say, which is disappointing, man, because I know me and a lot of you guys out there were very hyped to go into this film and witness another spy thriller and see how this plays out. But yeah, man, and also no spoilers, but we do get some twists with inside of this movie, and I felt like they were done sloppily. They were set up poorly. They didn't give us any clues or anything to be able to catch on and know that that twist was about to happen. You know, it just kind of randomly happens, and it felt unauthentic and inorganic, and I really didn't appreciate that. And so that brings us to our official movie rating for Marvel Studios' Black Widow. What does the Demigod rate Black Widow? I rate this film a 7 out of 10. There it is up on screen, 7 out of 10. I felt like Marvel could have came much better here. It's a slightly above average film. You know, you could definitely give this one a rewatch. You could have it on in the background while you do something else, passively watching it. But as far as watching it again fully attentively, I don't really feel a reason to. Maybe I'll go back and watch it one more time. But other than that, man, this movie was kind of a letdown to me. I'll be completely honest with you guys. And so would I recommend you go out and view this movie? If you are a huge Marvel fan, yes, because you're going to want to know more details into Natasha's character. You're going to want to get that backstory there. You're going to want to fill in some of the puzzle pieces that were left out, because this movie does plug in perfectly right after Civil War. So if you fit the description there, I say yes, go and check out this film, because you're probably going to have a good time with it, just being a Marvel fan and getting to see things within inside the Marvel Universe. However, don't set your expectations high. Just go in with your expectations not too high, and you might have a good time here. And so for the casual viewer, will I recommend you go out and rush to see this film? No, quite honestly, I don't. And this is one of the first Marvel films that I'd say that for. If you are a casual Marvel fan, you don't need to rush out and see this film. You could wait for it to get out of the cinemas and watch it at home. It's nothing to really be in a rush to see. There's no big revelations or anything here. And yeah, man, that's everything I got to say here. So also, no spoilers, but wasn't that post-credit scene crazy? For those who have seen the movie, that post-credit scene was damn near the best thing inside of this film. But yeah, man, there it is, my official Demigod ENT non-spoiler movie review for Marvel Studios' Black Widow. Did you go and see this film? Let me know in the comments down below. What did you think about this film? Let me know in the comments down below. If you don't know what I do here on Demigod ENT, I do trailer reactions, show reactions, movie reviews, movie news, and unboxing videos. So if you're interested in any of that, you're in the right place, man. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, show this video some love. I drop multiple videos a day on this channel, so that's what you can expect out of me. And if you don't already know, I am the Demigod, the chosen one, here on Demigod ENT, and I'm out of this thing, man. I appreciate y'all for watching with me. More videos coming soon. Stay tuned. Peace.